All right, guys, what a fantastic event at CZ. I had a blast. I think I was having just as much excitement playing with the AutoRefs and testing them out as you guys had just shooting each other on the field. This was a fantastic test day. I want to show you what I found out about the range of the devices and what I found out about the battery usage. In both test scenarios with this test, it just blew me away. Check this out. I'm going to show you the map first.
All right, so here's the map, and I got to tell you, I'm so enthusiastic, so excited about what we were able to test. So for those of you unfamiliar with the field, just so you know, this is CZ Airsoft. They've actually got a huge hill up here. This is the climb everybody hates is right here. This is a huge hill, and you can kind of see right here is a ravine. There's actually a stream that cuts this little piece in half. You're looking at probably about 15 acres worth of field. The staging area is down here, and it's also up on a hill. You can kind of see the ridge of it right here in the photograph from Google. So you've got a little bit of a hill, a little bit of a flat top, and then it just goes uphill for a majority of the fight. And this was actually a wonderful, just wonderful test. What I did was I had my booth was right here in the staging area, right? And I was using a fourth unit to monitor everything on the field, as well as one of the minis, the new minis that you've seen. And what we set up was 2 spawn points for the first game. And what I wanted to test out was, let me get closer to that max signal. Right now, theoretically, I should be hitting anywhere between 1,200 to 1,500 feet with these devices, but because we're in a dense woodland environment, these signals do not hit that at all. They're hitting about a third, if half of that. I want to see if I can get to that half mark, consistently. What do I have to do? So I did a few things different this time. Instead of having the devices on the ground, they were sitting on a stool. I actually put them on 3-foot stools and tables and oil drums because every foot you get it off the ground is about an extra 100 foot of signal. So I wanted to test that out. And so for both these positions, I had them both elevated, and I was actually kind of happy because one of them was behind a pond up here. So the ponds are bad news, guys. Water is actually the biggest signal, interference we're going to face with airsoft is water, right? That comes in any form: lakes, rivers, streams, and even just trees. That's why wireless signal sucks in the woods, because of the trees. They're literally just antennas or of water, and so your signal's trying to cut through all that. In a long story short, so I was behind literally a shield wall that killed my 500-foot line of sight, and it was actually pretty cool to test out that morning because with the 500-foot line of sight, it would not connect. However, what was really cool, just by moving the spawn just 20 feet around the bend of the lake, it would connect. It was like less than 20 feet, maybe 15 feet away from where we originally were putting it because of CZ's event. But we kept it. I actually kept it behind the lake for a number of reasons I'm going to show you here. So 500 foot going up a densely populated hilltop with elevated stools was still giving me about 500 foot. And I want to see where this would go. Now, one thing that was really monumental, and I was actually super surprised to see this. I was not expecting this at all. Was the fact that when I got back to the command center, opened up my mini, it was connecting to both spawn points at a 700-foot run with dense terrain, up hills, and with the shielding. There was enough line of sight, if you can see that, enough line of sight from where it was beyond the pond to get direct to the command center. That was monumental. It's proving the theory of how all this is going to work together. It was showing me that I could just sit at this freaking booth and run the whole shebang from one location. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. But to take it to the next level, because certainly I wanted to watch you guys and take some photos, I was walking a perimeter around this area, and I had a mini in my backpack acting like a repeater. And that repeater was constantly, at all times, connected to both machines. It was wonderful. Jim would walk up and say, "How's the game?" And I would just show him the scores. I'd show him the time, and that was beautiful. It really was proven that this is going to do a lot of good out there. And this is no longer theory. This is happening, right? This is production. It's fantastic news. But with all that, I mean, we did a 3-point domination, as you guys know, with 3 other points on the field, and fantastic.
Now the next big one, the other big test, which again blew me away, is my first sustained battery test. I'm using these 11.1 3,000 milliamp batteries, and I'm always been curious just how long are these going to last, right? Everybody's asking me, like, one battery long enough? In all of my estimates, running off of wireless should get me about 10 hours of gameplay, right? With control points and bombs and multiple objectives all run around. And just doing a local device, for example, might be able to get about 20 hours, maybe more, depending on the game mode. It's all about the wireless communication and all the power being sent across that mesh. But what was really exciting was after five and a half hours of them being on and communicating across the field for 4 game modes and being constantly ran in my little setting changes for 5.5 hours, I used roughly 6% of the battery off of the 11.1 3,000 milliamps. Whoa! That's huge. That's huge. 5 hours for 6%. Now, there's going to be some more tests coming up. I'm looking forward to using this system again at some more CZ games and bringing out the Roanoke and leaving them on and constantly running. But so far, I mean, the tests are just every little test I make is making the dream, to me, really come to life. So I just want to say a big thank you to all you guys and all your feedback. You all gave me some good feedback, like the push buttons and what things we can change to make that better, better displays and UI upgrades and all this stuff. I want to just say thank you to the players for the patience and working with us with that feedback. Thank you to CZ again for letting us run it. And I can't wait to do the next round of updates and get this thing just polished off. So anyway, more updates coming. What a great weekend.